This is KGW News at noon.
Oregon and Washington's indoor mask mandate will end tonight at 11:59. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. That rule change is something many people are really excited about, but others say they're a little apprehensive. We spoke to Multnomah County Health Officer Dr. Jennifer Vines yesterday. We specifically asked her about kids under 5 who can't get vaccinated. She had this to say to parents as they decide whether to continue having their children wear a mask.
As cases continue to get lower and lower, the risk of those gatherings and of those social interactions only gets lower and lower. So the notion of masking in case someone around your child has the virus, just that possibility from a risk standpoint, from just a pure numbers standpoint, is going to get lower and lower.
So those are some encouraging words. Do keep in mind, though, that even when this mandate ends, you still need to wear a mask on public transportation and in healthcare settings. Businesses can also require you to wear a mask. Now let's get to the war in Ukraine, because Russian forces appear to be stepping up their campaign all across that country. Satellite images no longer show the huge military convoy near Kyiv, which could mean a ground attack is imminent.
That was Russian army in our village. They shooting, our army shooting. It was a very bad place for living or just staying there.
Officials from Ukraine and Russia have met multiple times, but there's no peace deal. Now, back here at home, President Biden announced more sanctions against Russia. The U.S. and other members of the G7 are now revoking Russia's most favored nation trade status. That means exports of commodities from Russia, including seafood, vodka, and diamonds, will be banned in the United States. Russia will also be barred from borrowing money from major financial institutions, such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund.
It's an absolutely massive number of people, and what I think is really so astounding is just how quickly this has all come about.
The war in Ukraine, of course, impacting millions of people, and Portland-based Mercy Corps is there trying to help the refugees. It has teams in Ukraine and at border crossings. 2.3 million people have already fled the fighting. For some perspective, that is more than half the population of Oregon. We spoke to Cassandra Nelson, who advises Mercy Corps about its humanitarian response. She lives here, but she's been along the border with Romania for most of this week. She says more than half of those seeking refuge are women and children, and the community is embracing them.
You know, there's an absolute incredible generosity of spirit here, and I know it's happening, in other countries, bordering Ukraine as well, that are really, really helping them during this such a difficult time.
Mercy Corps is planning to set up a cash transfer system to get money to people so they can spend it on whatever they need most. If you'd like to support Mercy Corps' mission, we have a link on our website. Well, this noon, we are taking a closer look at the challenges some moms are facing after 2 very alarming cases this week. The first in Portland, where a woman gave birth on a downtown sidewalk and then left the newborn behind. The second happened near Eugene, where a mother died of an overdose in her hotel, and her 6-month-old son was left alone in the room for days on end. Alma McCarty spoke to an advocate about these distressing situations.
Wednesday morning, first responders arrived in downtown Portland at what they called an unusual scene.
A woman had just given birth on the corner and was walking away from where she gave birth, like on the sidewalk.
Medics told police the baby was already in the ambulance and appeared healthy. Officer Nathan Kirby-Glatkowski describes when he found the mother moments later.
He encountered somebody that was experiencing some pretty serious mental crisis. Had a lot of concern about her safety and making sure that we got her to a place to get a medical assessment and get her the help that she needed. The sidewalk at Southwest 13th and Market is no place to deliver a baby alone
Earlier this week in Springfield, another distressing case of a baby boy found alone in a hotel room. Police said his mother was found dead just feet from her son after overdosing on heroin 4 days earlier. The 6-month-old airlifted to the hospital.
It's obviously so sad.
Katie O'Brien, executive director of Rosehaven, says it's not uncommon for mothers in crisis, grappling with addiction and experiencing homelessness, to slip through the cracks.
Not everyone's pregnant, but everybody is struggling with mental and physical wellness. There's so many barriers for people in accessing services.
Even with all the tools at her fingertips, this advocate says she's found it difficult at times to find care for some of the women who walk through these doors.
So it's this whole cycle that just sort of spins around, and then we end up with just really horrific results that we've seen, just these last couple of days.
She says there's a real need for more low-barrier and women-focused shelters like Rosehaven and for more mental health services across the board. And she says it's also a matter of trust.
If we can help kind of bridge those relationships more and make people more comfortable in seeking care for themselves and care for their children, that's likely to extend itself beyond our walls.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Multnomah County also has a crisis line to call for help. The phone number is on your screen, 503-988-4888. It's staffed 24/7 for anyone experiencing distress or looking to help someone who is. Okay, check this out. This plane landed on Interstate 84 in eastern Oregon yesterday. Isn't that crazy? So state police tweeted this picture. They say 2 people were in the plane when it lost power in the middle of the air. Luckily, they landed safely and nobody was hurt. But wow, what a sight if you're driving that way. Okay, let's check in with Rod. Daylight saving time starts this weekend, but that's not the only change you're looking at.
No, it's rain still expected to be here tomorrow. So let's take you through first the big reminder. The magic hour, of course, is 2 a.m. Sunday. The clocks will somehow mysteriously move ahead 1 hour, and 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. as we go into daylight saving time. So instead of the sun coming up around 6:30 like it did this morning, Sunday morning, the sun won't come up until shortly after 7:30. But on the flip side, and the part that a lot of people really like, instead of the sun going down about 6:15, it'll be 7:15 Sunday evening before that sun goes down. Hey, this is kind of fun. Our Newport live camera, they are unloading crab. That's live crab right there in the I'm going to say box or container, and they've been icing them down, so that's fun. Newport seeing some sunshine. The cloudiness that was spilling on top of us yesterday and this morning seems like it's pushed mainly off to the east, so currently we have a lot of sun here in the Willamette Valley and also along the coast. There's downtown Portland, 52, kind of right where we thought we'd be at noon, so we are on track for some of you to hit 60 degrees this afternoon. We'll go Portland 59 at 4 p.m., maybe 60, and then still a nice evening. We'll have all those Futurecast movies to talk about mountain snow, valley rain, when it's coming, how much is coming, all of that straight ahead.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Rod.